Good evening, viewers. This is a broadcast on behalf of the YouTube reaction community. Before we begin, here is a game you can all play. Take a small piece of paper and make a little hole in it, thus. If other members of the family can do the same, you can then gaze at each other. In this, you can all enjoy hours upon hours of innocent boredom. Old radio gag for anybody that's wondering. Decades old, but still funny in my opinion. Anyways, welcome everybody to another Clue Time episode, and what a week it has been. We have had drama, we've had good singing, we've had alright singing, but overall, this has not been a bad week. I think we have had a very, very good week in terms of the singing this week, and I'm very happy about that. But why is my camera being so choppy? I'm worried my computer hasn't properly, my parents' PC hasn't properly booted up yet. Need to close Google as well, that might help. There we go. Right. Might also be because I'm running some of this stuff off an external device, but we'll see. Anyways, as I was saying, folks, it has been an absolutely riveting week full of drama, full of madness, full of just bad unmaskings, as we are all very well aware, but yeah, I don't know. I will get into all of that as we progress. But yes, I have taken down all of my clues today for all of the following masks, and I am very, very excited to go through all of those with you guys today because I have some new guesses, and I have some that I think might be potentially right, and some that I'm still divided on. So if I just close that and get my Word document open, get off my face, thank you. There we go. Obviously you guys can't see this because there's not really much point just sticking a Word document on the screen. But we started off the night with Bear. Now, I absolutely love Bear as a costume, and I was worried that they probably wouldn't be the best singer out of this, but they'd be a good performer. Now, so far that seems to be fulfilled, but I will tell you this now, folks. I have been to the Merge episode. As I said earlier on in the series, I went to the Merge taping episode, and Bear's Merge performance is not one to miss. Trust me, it's definitely his best performance yet of the season. So, yeah, honestly, tune in, because the Merge episode is going to be really good once we get through Group A. But yes, I am very, very excited to see Bear again in the Merge and basically just relive what was a great moment for me, because there were so many good performances in the Merge episode. One of which, unfortunately, Bonkers and I didn't get to see because we went out to the toilet because they were taking a really long time to put the costume on the stage, and by the time we got back, they'd already shut the door and the performance was already being recorded. We were very pissed off at that, but still. But, yeah, very annoying. But yes, I am very, very excited to tell you guys my new guess for Bear, because I have gone over all of the clues again, and I am very, very much looking forward to telling you guys what I found while I was searching. So, I am absolutely certain of this guess. From the minute Jonathan mentioned it, my interest was absolutely piqued. Richard Blackwood. Now, he's been mentioned a few times on this show, but yeah, I remember the first couple of times they mentioned it for characters where the height was completely wrong and the build was completely wrong. But this time, I think Jonathan might have nailed it from the performance. So, I went back and looked over some of the clues from week 1, and this is what I found. His clues of treading the boards, he has done theatre, he was in Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, Shrek the Musical, the Goldilocks clue, I think... I read that he's supposed to be appearing in a production of Goldilocks this year, but obviously that won't have made it on to The Masked Singer unless they're doing a thing like they did with Wayne Brady, where they mentioned something where he's where they mention something that's coming up before he's even done it. Which, why would you do that? I don't get it. But yes, I think that's more of a reference. I think the part we should be paying attention to here is the Porridge Stealer clue, because Porridge, breakfast, he's done breakfast radio and TV, so that's where I went with that. Could be completely wrong, but that's where I went. The coffee, this made me laugh when I found it. So he did Channel 5's Celeb Detox, where he did a challenge where he did a selection where he had 18 litres of coffee solution pumped up his arse. I'd love to know how that's supposed to help you detox, but... And I said this in my live that I did with Bonkers and Homie earlier on this week. I was like, how is that supposed to help? I don't get it. Now, the breakaway clue, obviously he is an actor, but he did actually have an injury where he broke his leg in 2 places on a set, so that could be a reference to that. I've got no idea. The hungry stuff, again, could be another reference to the fact that he's done breakfast TV and radio. The one clue that I did revisit again, which really intrigued me, was... which one was it? Where have I written that one down? Yes, the comedy. He did a comedy in 1999 called The Richard Blackwood Show. Never seen it, never heard of it. Probably, sorry Richard, but the fact that I haven't really heard that much about it probably means it wasn't that great. But there we are. Now, the luck clue with the horseshoe, he was in a British London film called Hood Luck, which is all about a lottery ticket, so that's where that could reference to. The art, he offers personalised videos for special occasions on Artist Marketplace, sort of another version of Cameo. I don't entirely know if that's what that's referring to, but could be. The football references, he's actually quite a big fan of football, would you believe it? Cliff Richard, Cliff is actually the name of his dad, but his middle name is Clifford, so his full name is Richard Clifford Blackwood. Who would have thought, eh? Now, the only connection that I could find to all of the Shakespeare stuff was there's a novel called The Shakespeare Stealer by a man called Gary Blackwood. So maybe that's just another Blackwood clue or reference, but maybe not, because it doesn't really relate to Richard Blackwood, but they've made crazier connections on these shows before now, so yeah, I've got no clue. The Skull, I think that's a reference to a TV show that he did called Ed Stone is Dead. Crystals, he was on the Crystal Maze, the DIY clue before he went into acting. His plan was that he was going to be a graphic designer and a building designer. Nice little tidbit there. And the broomstick, this is a very subtle clue, and I really liked this one when I found it. He has a song called 1, 2, 3, 4, Get With The Wicked. Wicked, broomstick, nice. I see where you're going with that, Masked Singer, and I like it. So, clue or false, I found the judging one is true, because he was a guest judge on Dancing on Ice. So, yeah, very nice indeed. I like this. I'm tying all of this up in a nice, neat little bow. To everybody saying example, I'm sorry, that ain't no white guy. It doesn't even sound like a white guy. The rasp in the voice and the huskiness, that definitely has to be someone from, like, black culture, surely. Sure, I made that sound so bad. Surely it has to be a black guy. Surely from that tone of voice. Like, I'm sorry, but I have been watching Masked Singer for far too long for my ears to not be tuned to, like, ethnical tones and that. Like, I was able to pick it up with Victor Oladipo. I was able to pick up with Chris Daughtry as well. You know, the difference in that. And this is the thing. White people tend to have a very sort of clear-cut voice almost, with a almost sort of belt behind them, whereas black people tend to have very raspy voices with a lot more soul to them. You can definitely feel the soul when it comes out, so yeah, that's just my opinion anyway. You guys out there might disagree with me, but this is just what watching tons and tons of The Masked Singer over the years has done to me, so yeah. Now, we move on now to obviously our boot of the night, which was Toad in the Hole, and if I'm going to be perfectly honest, I'm not even going to bother with this. The clues just didn't matter. It was just, like, the only clue that I really took note of in Toad in the Hole's clue package was the police lights and the headlines one, and that was just so obviously a reference to the fact that Macy has been arrested and she's done time, but this is just my general take on the situation, okay? Macy Gray, despite all of the good that she has done with her career, she's done stuff for the Red Cross, she's donated to multiple charities, and she's helped people, she's helped families who have been victims of police brutality. Very good in this day and age where Black Lives Matter is all the rage. But whenever she comes on The Masked Singer, it's like she just cannot let go of her ego. It's like she doesn't seem to get the point of The Masked Singer, that you, the celebrity, is not what the public are looking. You are not what the public are looking at. It's the costume they are looking at, and they want to see you bring that character to life. It's not. I mean, to be perfectly honest, in America, that doesn't seem to matter as much. But this, it just doesn't. It doesn't sit right with me whenever Macy Gray comes on these shows, because you always feel that when the unmasking comes around, it's always going to be weird. Like on the US one, she was just sort of like staggering all over the place. On here, she didn't do that as much. Over here, she seemed to have a lot more control of herself. But over here, again, she gets booted and she just throws a complete tantrum. I mean, on Australia, she didn't seem to mind it that much because she got to do more than 2 songs. But here, she was just. And it was obvious that she'd been crying after they took the mask. It was just so obvious how much she'd been crying after the mask came off. She just looked so peeved, so utterly, unbelievably peeved that she had been voted off. And it's like, I'd be peeved if I was voted off, but only because of the fact that I didn't get to perform all of the songs that I wanted to perform. Not because I'm a professional singer and I'm upset that I've been voted off. Plenty of professional singers have been voted off at various stages of this competition, either at the start, right in the middle, or further down the line. They have complained less than this. It's just... I don't get it. I just... Macy Gray, she's not... I don't hate her, but there are just some things that she does that I just do not understand about her personality. She just weirds me out to no end. So yeah, sorry Macy, but it doesn't always work out, my lovely. Doesn't always work out. Now, so we move on now, past all the drama, thank God, to Pufferfish. So this, for me, is definitely not an American. Now that I've seen this week, this is definitely not an American. They are definitely trying to throw us off. And yeah, my guess of my guess of Hailee Steinfeld. Sorry about that. My guess of Hailee Steinfeld pretty much went in the bin towards the time that the episode last week aired. I don't think this is Hailee Steinfeld anymore, especially with some of the clues that we got this week. And if you tuned into my live, where me and the rest of oh god, this is really bad. Ugh. I need to go get some tissues after this. If you saw my live that I did with Bonkers and Homie, Bonkers and I had a little bit of a heated debate over who we thought this could be. But I am not letting go of my guess that this could be one of the Little Mix girls just yet. Hear me out. Samantha Barks fans, I hear you and I respect you, and I will get to her in just a second, okay? She is on the radar, I have noticed her, but I don't want to let go of my guesses just yet. This year, Pufferfish is my cricket. I can't decide whether it's, I can't decide then whether it was Simon from Blue or Lamar, and now I can't decide whether it's one of the Little Mix girls or Samantha Barks. I know it's Little Mix girl it's not, and that's Jade. Because Jade is definitely the girl out of the band that does not fit the clues at all. So, this is where I went. Starting off with Perry. So, the football. She's married to a footballer, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. The 11 clue. She apparently hired a collection of 11 producers and songwriters to produce her first album. The Spider clue. Her little boy is obsessed with Spider-Man. She's posted multiple videos of her singing Spider-Man with him, and he even got a Spider-Man themed birthday party. Could that be a bit of a thin stretch? Yes, it could, but we've seen more ridiculous stuff on this show, trust me. It could also be a reference to the fact that there were Little Mix have said a survival show led them to release a song with a slightly Korean theme about it. Now, I don't entirely know what that entails, pardon me again. I didn't read the entire article, it just caught my eye, so I thought it fit. Yeah, fair enough. Now, Empire State, Little Mix have performed in New York many times back in the day. The Chicken, Perry has done Nando's ads. Being Close to the Sky, Wings. That's where I went with that. The SJP clue. Now, if this is a member of Little Mix, I don't know if that is a reference to Sarah Jessica Parker or if it's something else. Because they did this earlier. They did this in Eiffel Tower's clue package, where they gave us a set of initials, and we thought it was one thing, but it turned out it wasn't. But I'm keeping it in mind that it could still be Sarah Jessica Parker. 3 question marks, 3 Little Mix members, Italy, Perry as the face of an Italian fashion brand. Now, the Angie Watts clue. Again, I feel like I'm stretching this thin here, I get it, but Anita Dobson, who played Angie Watts, is married to Brian May from Queen. And Little Mix have met Brian May and collaborated with him a couple of times. But also Little Mix have recreated a scene from EastEnders, so maybe that's a clue, I don't know. The first aid kit, probably a reference to the fact that Little Mix had that hit DNA, which was set in a hospital. No idea what the walk-in statement is, I'm leaving that for now. The collaboration clue, Little Mix have had countless collaborations, and there was a Cuckoo Clock. Cuckoo is a song by Anne-Marie, and who did the song Kiss My Uh-Oh with Anne-Marie? Little Mix. So that is where I've gone with that. My other guess, of course, was Leanne, because she is also married to a footballer. Keeping all of the other clues in mind, she wanted to be a pop star from age 11. So that also could be. The spider clue, she has actually said that she has a fear of flies. So she champions spiders because she's like, hello spiders, please come in here and kill all these horrible flies that are freaking me out to no end. The chicken clue, that was the one that I couldn't connect to Leanne, so that's where I think I'm trying to shoehorn stuff in here. And I don't really think it's her. If I am going to go with a Little Mix girl, I think I'm going to stick with Perry. The Italian fashion, she has done Italian fashion. She's also done some Italian radio work. The only thing that I really don't think fits with Leanne is the height. She's how tall is she? She's at 1.6 meters in feet. Is how tall again? 1.6 meters in feet. Yeah, that's 5'2". So yeah, and that's even shorter than Bush, and Bush is wearing heels, so I really don't think that Pufferfish is going to be as tall as she is with the heels, even if they are quite high. So yeah, I don't think it's Leanne. Right, now for Samantha Parks. Now I hear you, and I understand you folks, so I have taken down all the clues. Sarah Jessica Parker, she's played Sarah Jessica Parker's role in either a musical or a film, I can't remember. She's been in a movie with Anita Dobson, got married in Tuscany, done voiceover for Robot Chicken. 11, she's been in 11 musicals. The Spider, she was in Mission Survive with Bear Grylls. The Cuckoo Clock, she was in a film called Jack and the Cuckoo Clock Heart. The Walk-In, I think, might be a reference to her covering Walking in the Air, but maybe not. That seems like a bit of a loose clue. Empire State, she won an Empire Award for newcomer in Les Mis. She has collaborated with other artists, but not many on a very, shall we say, well-known demographic. So yeah, people have speculated that the arrow is a reference to the Into the Unknown, which is another Frozen clue. But personally, I don't buy that. I think that's a reference to something else. The football clue, she has sung the national anthem at the SSE Women's Cup final. So yes, all of the clues are there for each of them, and I am not letting go of any of them just yet. I want to hold on to them for a little bit longer, and I want to see what happens when we get the clue song next week. Because obviously I know what the clue song is next week. I've found a couple of things that very loosely fit to Perry and Samantha, but again, the actual clue package itself, which I remember none of because it was over 3 months ago, could reference something else. So yeah. As for the clue or false clue, I was actually able to find correct guesses for both these cards relating to Little Mix and Samantha. So, the style, obviously Little Mix are very well known for their style, but they also have a song called Madhouse, and another potential thing that fits with the slash clue in the second card, one of their CDs was featured in a song by an artist who I've never heard of before called A.B. Tear, called Slasher Flicks Little Fang. So, again, potentially a loose fit, but we've seen more ridiculous stuff on this show. But also Samantha Barks is known for having a very particular style. Oh, not my mic just then, sorry about that. Including catsuits and lace dresses. Home is still home, no matter what you call it. Probably reference to the fact that she's from the Isle of Man. She was somebody that I couldn't fit to the other clue, though, which, yeah. This one feels very specific, so I'm keeping my eye on that one. But yes, multiple irons in the fire for Pufferfish right now. I am in the same state with Pufferfish now that I was with Bear last week, so yeah. This is, I feel like I've always got one that I'm just scrambling, and I'm not going to lie, I'm not looking forward to next week, because there is one mask that literally, even if I went back and looked at the clues again, I just don't think I'd know who it was, and that is Tattoo. Bonkers and I cannot figure out who Tattoo is for the life of us. We just have no idea. So, yeah. But now, moving on to everyone's favourite, the utterly adorable Bush. So, unfortunately, I have had to let Jane Torville go this week. And looking back, because there are too many EastEnders references, so I am fully on board with Natalie Cassidy as a guest now. So, looking back at the week 1 clues, I went back and looked through them again. Best Bush in Show, she has won awards for Best Young Actress in a Soap. She talks about managing. She has managed teams in the past, not necessarily on acting, but just general teams, and supported working mums, which could reference back to her talking about making her plant friends feel special. The whole gardening scenario of it all. She has a YouTube show called Garden Escape Diaries. The Meadows, which last week I thought were a reference to where Torville and Dean are from, in Nottinghamshire, I realise now is actually a reference to Poppy Meadow, a character from EastEnders. The Judge, she was on Judge on Eurovision, Making Your Mind Up. No idea what that show was about, but it was there. The Opera Glasses, duh, soap opera. So, yeah, that's easy. The Ghost, she played a ghost in a radio broadcast version of the Noel Coward show Blithe Spirit. Very nice indeed. The Australia clues that we got this week, she did a touring show of Australia a few years back. The Joker card, she refers to herself as a Joker quite often. It's even one of her credits on her Instagram page. Scales, that could be a reference to her 4-stone weight loss. Well done for that, Natalie. The Kebab, I cannot believe this. There is a kebab shop in London called EastEnders Kebabs. Who would have thought, right? The Slapstick, there was a comedy sketch made about her in the show Morgana Robinson's The Agency. And, yeah, if anybody has seen that sketch, Natalie doesn't live with her dad and her sister anymore. So, yeah. The Derek clue, there was Derek Branning, another EastEnders character. And the 9, she was on Celeb Big Brother 9. Now, I don't know why the 9 is on the end of it, but again, I don't watch Big Brother, so I've got no idea why. But I had a look through her clue or false, and the travel clue is definitely the correct one. As mentioned, she's done travel shows in Australia, and she's had a show called Real Britain. So, yeah, I think this is probably the most solid we're going to get. And finally, of course, we have my favourite, my main man, Wolf. I absolutely love Wolf. Now, I'm not entirely that much of a fan of Copacabana as a song choice, and he only seems to have done crowd pleasers so far, and I'm slightly concerned now that he's going to go down the same route that Phoenix did, where it's going to be where he's just going to be an entertainer that can sing really well. Now, I genuinely don't think the public are going to entirely get behind that this season. I could be wrong, but we'll see. But yes, I am very much looking forward to seeing his merge performance again, because it was definitely one of my favourites of the night. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing that. But for me, this is the easiest one out of the whole group. This is Marti Pellow, no question about it. I didn't have to go back and re-look over any clues again. Didn't have to look over any clue packages again. It's Marti Pellow, simple as. So he had the brass spyglass. He covered Brass in Pocket by the Pretenders, but he also has, because he's looking up to the sky, he also has an album called Stargazer. there's so many songs called Stargazing or Stargazer these days. It's utterly ridiculous. Not entirely sure what the Revolutionary in Gambit clue was all about. Maybe that's just a little limerick they threw in there. I'm not sure. The soap clue. He's actually been on Emmerdale as a child, and more recently he's been in Coronation Street. So, nice. The food chain clue, he's been on Saturday Kitchen. Trading expectations, more references to him breaking away from his family's building trade. The Nile, Wet 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 had an album called Holding Back the River. The DNA clue, Marty... Now, this might be a loose fit again, but Marty has discussed how music is part of his DNA on his Pillow Talk. The Fleetwood Mac clue, he paid tribute to Christy McVie from Fleetwood Mac after she died. And the Mouse and the Trap, which immediately I thought, oh my god, has Marty Pello been in the Mousetrap? Which he has. Now, I absolutely love the Mousetrap, and I am gutted that I did not get to see him perform in it, because I think he would have absolutely... I'm curious to see which role they would have had him playing, actually. He either would have been, I think, Giles, the husband, who of the people that run the hotel, or the Major, one of the guests. But yeah, those are the only people that I can think he'd play in that. But yeah, very, very good show. Very good show indeed. And again, clue or false clue, easy as pie, band reference, hanging with the gang, so yeah. I just realised the one thing that I forgot to take note of was the "It's not me, it's you" clue and which one that reference is. So I'll have a look at that, and I'll go back to it again for the start of my next reaction video, which is coming. So I need to address this now, folks. I am going to watch the Strictly Live tour this week in Birmingham, so I'm probably going to be staying offline during that time to make sure that I don't get any spoilers. But yes, I'm going down to Birmingham to watch the Strictly Live tour. I'm going to be meeting up with all of my friends, staying in a lovely hotel. It's beautiful down there, and yeah, just having a good start to my year. And I'm very happy that this year I am not going into the hospital for any kind of surgery, which may prevent me from going to watch the Strictly Live tour, because we all know how that went last year, don't we, folks? Me having a freaking drain stuck up my arse. But yes, thank you very much for tuning into another episode of Clue Time, folks. That is it for this week. I cannot believe it. We are motoring through this series of The Masked Singer, and I know that before too long it is going to come to an end again, and I don't want it to, because I love the UK version of The Masked Singer. It is the goofiest out of all of them, and I still love Belgium more, I think, because it combines the production value of the US version of The Masked Singer with the goofiness of the UK Masked Singer. I still get some really good laughs out of it, and yeah, I still get some emotion out of some of the UK performances, but not as much as, shall we say, some of the performances that we get over on the US version. So yeah, it's just crazy, utterly crazy indeed. But yes, thank you so much for tuning in, folks, and it is now time for Song of the Week. And this week, folks, my song is the song that has been stuck in my head, and ever since I'd heard that it was rumoured that he'd be performing this song on the show, I was listening to it non-stop to prep myself, and that is Miami, Bear's song by Will Smith that he absolutely nailed and should not have ended up in the bottom two for. So yeah, this is me here with Miami. Enjoy, folks. Hey, yeah, South Beach, bringing the heat. Can y'all feel that? Can y'all feel that? Hey, dig it out, Here I am in the place where I come let go. Miami, the bass and the sunset low. Every day like a Mardi Gras. Everybody party all day, no work, all play. Okay, so we sip a little something, lay the rest to spill. Me and Charlie at the bar, running up a high bill. Nothing less than ill when we dress to kill. Every time the ladies pass, they be like, can you feel me? All ages and races, real sweet faces. Every different nation, Spanish, Haitian, Indian, Jamaican, black, white, Cuban, to Asian. I only came for 2 days of playing, but every time I come I always wind up staying. This is the type of town I can spend a few days in. Miami, the city that keeps the roof blazing. Party in the city where the heat is on all night on the beach till the break of dawn. Bouncing in the club where the heat is on. All night on the beach till the break of dawn. I'm going to Miami. Yo, I heard the rate storms ain't nothing domestic, but I can't feel a drip on the strip. It's a trip. Ladies half dressed, fully equipped, and they be screaming out. So I'm thinking I would scoop me something hot in this salsa merengue melting pot. Hottest club in the city and it's right on the beach. Temperature getting it's about to reach 500 degrees in the Caribbean seas with the hot mommy screaming. Every time I come to town, they be spotting me in the drop Bentley, ain't no stopping me. So, cashing your dough and flow to this fashion show, pound for pound, anywhere you go. Yo, ain't no city in the world like this, and if you ask how I know, I got to bleed the fifth. Body in the city where the heat is on, all night on the beach till the break of dawn.
Welcome to Miami, bienvenido a Miami.
Passing in the club where the heat is on, all night on the beach till the break of dawn. I'm going to Miami. Don't get me wrong, Chi-Town got it going on. And New York is a city that we know don't sleep. And we all know that LA and Philly stay jiggy. But all the sneak, Miami bringing heat for real. Y'all don't understand and never seen so many Dominican women with cinnamon tans. Mira, this is the plan. Take a walk on the beach, show a heart in the sand. Give me a hand. Damn, you look sexy. Let's go to my yacht in the West Keys. Ride my jet skis, lounging in the palm trees. Cause you gotta have cheese for the summer house feast on South Beach. Water so clear you can see to the bottom. $100,000 cars, everybody got them. Ain't no surprise in the club to see Sly Stallone. Miami, my second home. Hey, 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 hey. Hands in the air, put 'em up. Hands in the air, put 'em up. Bouncing in the club where the heat is on. All night on the beach till the break of dawn. I'm going to Miami. Come on, jig it out, y'all. Come on. Hey, somebody say ho! Come on. Yeah, Miami. Come on. One more time, I'm going to Miami. Party in the city where the heat is on.